Roger Daltrey, the man who rocked the world with The Who, has decided to drop the mic, but not in the way you might think. This legendary musician, who's been a frontman for one of the greatest rock bands of all time, has been a guiding force in the music industry for decades. But it's not all high notes and drum solos. Recently, Daltrey made headlines when he announced his decision to step down as the curator of the Teenage CancerTrust gigs. Yes, folks, the man who's been at the heart of rock and roll is taking a step back, but he's not exactly stepping out. And here's a fun fact for you. Daltrey has a rather unique take on reviews and social media. He describes them as ego food and expresses a clear aversion to them. So if you were planning to tweet him your 2 cents on his latest performance, you might want to hold that thought. So while Daltrey steps away from the limelight, he's not quite ready to fade into the background just yet. While Daltrey might be turning the volume down on his music career, he is certainly amplifying his commitment to charity. You see, our rock legend Roger Daltrey has been the curator of the Teenage CancerTrust gigs, a role that he's recently announced he'll be stepping down from. But don't let that fool you into thinking he's stepping away from the cause. No, he's been a vital part of the charity's success, helping raise an impressive £32 million for specialised NHS units. I dare say that's a lot of guitar strings. Now, Daltrey and the Teenage CancerTrust have been making sweet, sweet charity music together for years. And this music, it's not just a catchy tune, it's the sound of lives being changed, of hope being kindled in the hearts of young people facing one of life's toughest battles. It's the sound of charity, and it's a song that Daltrey has dedicated himself to keep playing, even if it's from behind the scenes. And speaking of scenes, picture this. Daltrey no longer center stage, but still very much part of the show. He's the one pulling the strings, making sure the spotlight shines brightly on the charity and its mission. It's like he's gone from rock star to roadie, but for a cause that's close to his heart. Of course, there's always a bit of a shake-up when a band member decides to take a step back. But fear not, the Teenage CancerTrust has a plan. They're bringing in guest curators in 2025, ensuring that the charity gig stays fresh and continues to hit all the right notes. And Daltrey, he's not leaving the band, as it were. He'll be there, guitar in hand, ready to strum along to the sound of charity. He'll be an honorary patron, a title that I'm sure suits him just as well as his leather jackets. And while Daltrey might be leaving the stage, he's not leaving the charity high and dry. The charity plans to have guest curators in 2025, with Daltrey remaining an honorary patron. So, what's next for the man who captivated audiences for decades with his powerful vocals and charismatic stage presence? Well, Roger Daltrey, the vivacious vocalist of The Who, recently announced his plans to step down as the curator of the Teenage CancerTrust gigs. While some might see this as a curtain call, Daltrey, ever the rock star, has other plans. As an honorary patron of the charity, he'll continue to champion this noble cause, ensuring that the rhythm of giving keeps on beating. But let's talk about Daltrey's reflections on mortality for a moment, a topic you'd think might inspire a somber ballad or two, yet in true Daltrey fashion, he approaches it with a sense of humour and a dash of defiance. One can almost imagine him swapping his mic for a fishing rod, serenading the fish with some of his classic hits. Maybe we'll see a new album, Daltrey, The Angler Years, hitting the charts soon. While Daltrey might be stepping away from the limelight, he's not one to simply fade into the background. He's traded the roar of the crowd for the quiet hum of philanthropy, but his impact remains as powerful as ever. The charity plans to have guest curators in 2025, but rest assured Daltrey's influence will echo in every chord struck and every ticket sold. And as for social media and reviews, Daltrey dismisses them as ego food. He might have a point. After all, when you've rocked the world with your music and touched hearts with your charity work, do you really need a thumbs-up emoji to validate your legacy? So as we ponder Daltrey's future, we might imagine him enjoying a quiet life off stage. But let's not forget, this is a man who spent his life defying expectations, smashing guitars and breaking the mold. Who knows what encore he might have up his sleeve? And as Daltrey takes his final bow, we can only say, "Who are you, Roger Daltrey? You're a rock legend who's proven that the show must always go on, even if it's not on stage."